Hi everyone. I wanted to stop for 1 second and just go over classes. So I gave some homework where I wanted everybody to make a sample Mario class, and without being face to face, it's tough. I'm not sure if I didn't explain it well enough or if you guys weren't exactly sure what to do, but basically what I was getting at is I want to make sure that you all know how to use Java to make your own class. This is something that in grade 11 you should have learned, but I'm very aware that different teachers teach the grade 11 content a little differently. So let's just stop and make sure that we're all on the same page. And I'm going to give you another day to do the Mario assignment after you see what I've done here. One other thing though, I only had 3 people hand in the Mario assignment. I had a couple people email and say that they were going to be late with it. If you're going to be late with it, you need to email me. Okay, you can't just hand stuff in late and expect to continue on, getting the mark that you want. Eventually that's going to affect you. So please be proactive when it comes to assignments. Make sure that you are emailing me. Be in contact if things aren't going to be in on time so that at the very least I know about it, okay? Okay, let's look at this. So classes. In Java, the way I like to explain it when I'm face-to-face is classes are a lot like recipes. So if I want to make cookies, I can go in and I can grab a recipe, right? And if I want chocolate chip cookies, there's a recipe for that. If I want oatmeal raisin cookies, there's a recipe for that. It's similar, but there's a recipe for that. I use the recipe to make the cookie. And I can make 1 cookie, I can make 2 cookies, I can make 17 cookies, I can make as many as I want, but I use the recipe to do that. Another analogy, it's like a blueprint. And then I can make the house from the blueprint. So this class that I'm looking at here, that is class bicycle, what this is this is like a recipe or a blueprint for a bicycle that I'm going to make in my program. And my bicycle would have its own cadence, it would have its own gear, and it would have its own speed. Okay, these are called the fields, the class fields, or characteristics. And these are the things that the bicycle can be described by. Okay. Different bicycles might have different speeds, but they're all going to have a speed. Different bicycles may have different gears, but they're all going to have a gear. I can change the values, but they all have that characteristic. Now, this here is what we call a constructor. If I want to create a new bicycle object in Java, then this is the special method that I would use to do that. I would need to include 3 pieces of information, 1, 2, 3, and those pieces of information would set the gear, the cadence, and the speed. So whatever I include as the first parameter, that would be the cadence. Whatever I include as the second parameter, that would be the speed, and whatever I include as the third parameter, that would be the gear. Okay? So I have the characteristics or the fields of the class. I have the constructor, which actually is responsible for making a new item of that class. And then here I have the methods. These are the things that the bicycle can do, or the things I can do with the bicycle class. I can set the cadence, I can set the gear, I can apply brake. These are things that the bike can do, essentially. Okay? Now down here it talks about extending it and doing a mountain bike. This is called inheritance. I'm not too worried about this yet, so you don't have to worry about it, but you should give it a read through at some point. And all of the information up here is very good information. If you haven't read it through, please make sure that you do. Now, your assignment was to make a Mario class. So I didn't really expect that you'd do this in NetBeans. All I really want was a file. It could be a doc file, it could be a Java file. It's just one file, and I want to see that you can make a Mario class. So notice over here, if I'm making a bicycle class, it starts with public class bicycle. Well, I'm going to start it over here with public class Mario. And I'm probably going to have to put up with some word formatting here, but so be it. Make it a little bigger. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to start a class named Mario. It has an open bracket to start and a curly bracket at the end. At the start of the class, this is where I'm going to put all of the class variables. Later, I'm going to have the class constructor. And then I'm going to have some class methods. So I ask myself, what are some things that Mario has to describe him? And there are a million different things you can come up with. I'm not looking for the actual Mario, class here that Nintendo made. That would be way too hard. This is just supposed to be a little example to understand classes. So, what are some things that Mario has? Well, he has health, right? Does he have health? Yeah, he kind of has health. I guess health isn't a great one for Mario. He's got levels, like, he starts out small and then he goes big, and then if he gets the flower, he throws fireballs. So, maybe he's got these things I'll call levels. Okay, so level. Mario has a level, and initially his level is small, so maybe I'll start at 0, and that could controls his kind of power, I guess. What's something else Mario has? Well, he has a name. His name would be Mario. What's something else he has? Well, he has a speed, right? And if you're thinking, not really, well, he does, because if he gets the star, he can speed up, right? So his speed might start at, I have no idea, like maybe 10, but I'd be able to alter that speed at some point. Other things that Mario has, maybe he's got a Boolean to determine whether he is invincible. Because remember, he gets the star, he's invincible, and that's set to false right away, but maybe later when he gets the Boolean, or gets the star, that would become true. Some other things, let's just jump, right? He can jump, so maybe he has a jump height. And notice that I am literally making these up off the top of my head, because I'm just thinking about all the different things that Mario has, right? He's got a whole bunch of different things that I can change. So there's 5 off the top of my head. I think I asked for 7, but you can come up with more. These are things that describe Mario, that separate him from maybe other heroes. Okay? Now, the constructor. If I want to make a constructor, again, just have a look over here. Notice that a constructor is special. It's like a method, but it doesn't have a return value. It just says public bicycle. So to make a constructor for Mario, I start with public Mario. Now, if I do this, that's what we call an empty constructor. So somebody would be able to make a Mario object that doesn't have any information coming through with it. So if you made a Mario object using this constructor, all of these values here would be the defaults. So you would make a Mario, and it would have a level of 0, it would have a name of Mario, a speed of 10, invincible is false, and so on. But I could also include a different constructor, and maybe I want to make, for whatever reason, a version of Mario who's going to be faster. So maybe I say, okay, there's also a way you can make Mario by including one parameter, and that parameter is going to be responsible for his speed. So this is a constructor, so I guess I should put an S here. This is a constructor, but this is also a constructor. This is a blank constructor, meaning that the default values will be used when Mario is created. This one here, we're passing through a value for S, which is going to become the speed. So instead of the speed being 10, it would be whatever we pass through. And that brings us to the methods. So, while I clean this up a bit, we think about what are some things that Mario could do. Well, Mario can jump, right? Mario can run. So he's got a whole bunch of these things called methods. And again, I don't intend on you actually writing methods like the actual things that he does, like the code to make a move. That's not what I was looking at. But one of the things Mario would do, for example, would be public void, and I'd say run. So that would be a method, and then we just leave this blank. I'm just thinking of things Mario would do. And then maybe I have another method that says public void set invincible. Right? Because if I hit that star, I need a way to make him invincible. And so I could set invincible, and maybe for that one I include a Boolean. And this would make the invincible class variable equal to whatever the user passes in as b. Okay. So if somebody uses the method setInvincible, they have to include the true or the false with it, and whatever they include, true or false, would be b. That's going to set Mario's class variable to either true or false, depending on what the user does. If I got a mushroom, right, if Mario's walking along, don't forget he's at level 0, which is controlling how tall and how powerful he is. If he gets a mushroom, then maybe I have another method saying grow. And if we call the grow method, maybe that means we're just going to increase his level by 1. So there's my grow method. If I get a mushroom, if I get a flower, whatever. And one more method, let's do public, I don't know, change name. Maybe we want to make the game a little different so that when Mario, depending on the his level, so depending on his level, maybe we change his name. So we go if if level equals 1, then maybe we say name is Mario or something like that. And if level equals 2, then maybe his name becomes Super Mario. And we can give him more names depending on his level. If he's, maybe we can make Flower Mario and stuff like that. Maybe instead of change name, we call it determine name, because we're basing it on the level or something like that. And we could have this one have a return value, and maybe what we do is we return, instead of making the name Mario, we could return Mario. Return Super Mario. So if I call the determine name method, it would go and say, okay, well, if it's level 1, we call him Mario. If it's level 2, we call him Super Mario, and so on. But again, the point of this exercise was not to make amazing methods and actually build the Mario game. It was to say, okay, well, we get that a class in Java has 3 sections: class variables, class constructor, or constructors, and then methods. Okay? So just like the bike, right? We have 3 variables or fields. A lot of different names for variables. Some people call them fields, characteristics, variables, properties, but they are the things that actually describe the object. And then here we have the constructor, how it's made, and then here we have the methods. And you can find tons of different examples. So if you go Java class dog example, I've seen one where if you make, there you go, create a dog class. So here's the example of a dog class right here. So somebody made a dog class for whatever program they're making, and they say, okay, a dog has a name, an age, and a weight. Here's a constructor where every dog is going to have these defaults, and here are some methods where I can do stuff. Okay? So that's what I'm looking for. Now that I've shown you how this works, we're not going to do Mario. So I'm going to put this video up right now, and I'm going to ask you guys to do a different example, but hopefully this will help you. If not, let me know. But again, please make sure that you guys are checking the content every day. You can't just ignore assignments. They're not going to go away. And let me know if something doesn't make sense, and then I can make videos like these. Okay? All right. So, yeah, get your class assignment done that you're going to read about, and have a great weekend. We'll pick it up on Monday. Bye-bye.